guy. Hello, friends. Hello.
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 We've just
Hi.
and CJ's
Hello. Yeah.
Oh, well, this
I'm
is
not using a good camera, so this is sad.
oh, rip your face. There is a feature on this to do a little touch-up option, which I have elected to use. So don't worry about that.
You tell us about that now.
I thought it was obvious
Yeah.
in your settings. Feel free to have a play. It is as my. Did you work it out?
One word.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
Glow
Ben's
up.
going to come back looking like Jackie Stallone in a minute. Hey.
Oh my God.
Now let me see if the chat is up. Oh, hello, Georgie. Yes, chat is working. G'day. What a little experiment for the senior crowd we're doing. I feel like. This is, as my spouse's family always say, Jolly Boxing Day. It's so naff. But they always say it and make you say it back. But we have a coming together of communities. We have Neighbuzz, we recap Neighbuzz, a podcast, and NeighBens, which is, how do you even describe the juggernaut that is NeighBens? Hello, Ben B, Ben F.
Oh, it's a nostalgic look back over the history of Neighbours, and it's our love letter to the show. That's normally our go-to bio.
Ours is a snarky spam email to the show.
Or we're a bunch of goons kind of gooning out over it. That's the real NeighBens.
We're just a spam chainmail to Neighbours, our one. So we have Ben Fenlon, which is your namesake character immortalized forever is Ben Fenlon Bone in the final week of Neighbours. And we have CJ and Kate down there, and I'm Vaya, and we have friends joining us to watch. G'day. So we've got Magento, which is, I think is a pseudonym. I can see through you. And Tom, Neil, Irish Raw, which is probably a real name. And I think I can, let me see if I can add these to the, yes.
Ooh.
And how was everyone's big day? You obviously had breakfast with your aunt and uncle and then flew to Sydney.
Yeah. Oh no, it got cancelled because my aunt's, she's a hot mess. She's a hot mess.
Yeah. Like I left my children interstate on Christmas morning. So there you go.
Yeah.
I don't have any children to leave behind, so I just got drunk on Christmas Day. That was me.
Did you drown in a pool?
Yeah. Oh God, that I shouldn't have worn that dress with the floaty dip. No.
Speaking of children, we may be getting a cameo from Baby Dr. Carl. What's Sarah saying? We're listening from the M25. Is that public transport?
No, it's a.
Oh, that's the motorway.
Oh, of course. Sounds like a motorway name. Cultural translation. I've failed. So we're going to have a little retrospective. We're going to unbox our feelings on Unboxing Day. Unpack a few of the Ramsay Street revelations that have come to light over the last few months. That's my cat back there, Detective Beckett. There she is. The other one I thought was we left under the house on Christmas Day. That's fine. He's fine.
Certainly unboxed.
Yeah. He's all right. Jump in with your comments and we're also going to present a few awards. We've each got some awards to put forward for the Renaissance, the reboot. So everyone obviously kicked off 2023 season in our spring with the big Toad Rage reveal of Toadie and To Rage being a couple and walking down the aisle to each other, and it wasn't a joke.
It's weird because like it felt wrong and it still feels wrong to me, but also like it now doesn't feel as ragey because I'm sort of like, oh, that's where Toadie lives now.
Mm.
You know,
Can we just do a quick show of hands of who is convinced by this relationship or who still thinks it's a sham? So hands up if you're convinced. Hands up if you think it's a sham.
This is going to feed into what I hope for the future, but I still have hope that they asked Harold to file the wedding certificate paperwork, marriage certificate, and he was still under the influence of his dodgy medication, and he just didn't take it to the courthouse or whatever he was meant to do. And so that's my wish, is that, oopsies, forgot to do the paperwork, we're not really legally wed.
Maybe a bit of Susan's convenient MS kicked in that day too.
Yeah. And from all
Convenient Avenue style.
Well, I just think Tim Collins is going to turn up and say, mate, you're still married to Dee. You never divorced her. She didn't die. Sonia, Mel, Steph, the worst. You've only been married once, mate.
Yeah. Did he get divorced? Was that ever a topic?
They don't really have divorce ceremonies, do they? They need to, because we can't keep up.
He must have got divorced from Steph. But
I mean,
like
Dee, when she appeared, wouldn't you have to get divorced?
No, I think after 7 years of being missing, unless he's, with his amazing lawyering, has had it fixed before that, I think you assume to be dead anyway.
Yeah.
But
what a
he
weird
married
thing.
Steph, didn't he? He
Yeah.
married Steph.
He had 2 weddings to her, but I'm fairly sure they actually got married once.
We're not going to get into Steph chat. Steph does not need this. But, she's laughing. But Sarah hates it. Georgie is a road rage fan.
Yeah.
I think they are. I do believe them. If this was a completely independent show in a vacuum, they are a cute, newly married, middle-aged couple. As in, yeah, they talk to each other they have earnest discussions about their feelings and their lives.
Maybe we could, maybe it's To Rage who's the issue. Maybe she never properly got divorced from Drab. And then we could have Drab back.
Oh, yeah. There's no way that he signed the paperwork and got it back.
And Loz has to fly down and go, oh, God, sorry to do this.
Drab could do a bit of, like, interpretive dance in the waterhole again.
Anything to explain that. Yeah, Jonathan says Susan didn't renew her celebrant license. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah. And and a few reactions to the Christmas episodes, which, look, full disclosure, I've only watched the first 10 minutes of Christmas and I'll pick it up later. How was it having a Christmas episode? Was it a little treat?
Yeah, it was a nice little Christmas Day treat. I wouldn't say it was the best episode of Neighbors ever, but it was good to take the 20 minutes out of the day and indulge in Ramsay Street. Yeah, I've got a lot of thoughts on Haz and Mackenzie.
Oh.
Gosh.
Well, that was the other big reintroduction, is Mackenzie in her widow life, not living her best life, but she's kicking some career goals, which is wonderful to see. But they've planted this immediate love interest, and I think that's what's given it a bit of it's what's caused it to stall a little bit, because it's like, here's Mackenzie, here's who she's going to be with, deal with it. Like, no, but I don't know.
That man like collects pizza boxes, and he won't.
Oh, they fell.
Like,
They fell.
train his dog, mate. I don't know. He doesn't feel aspirational.
He's a bit
I
wet.
don't think he is.
So we're not entertaining the idea that they're Byron's stash of pizza boxes.
He's got
Mate,
too much
got
charisma to do that.
He's got like some food hygiene issues for a man who owns a cafe.
What was I could say this for the podcast, but what was Holly's present to him? It looked like a envelope seal, but it's got something to do with coffee, doesn't it?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it's like
some sort of tamper. Is that the?
Yeah, where they kind of mash the coffee down in the machine before
Yeah.
they shove it in. I'm not a barista. Those are technical terms, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
She had
Mash
him a
and
masher.
shove.
pushy thing.
Yeah.
And I think it had his initials on it, or a H maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't
It
get
is a-
monogram stuff this early into a relationship.
Yeah, and he said he'd been eyeing it online, and it's like that's also a tax write-off for him. I feel like he should have just bought it.
I just looked them up then. The most expensive one I could find was $25 from House. Like, it's not like, mate, just buy one.
I expect that's good. That checks out for a 20-year-old though. Going, oh, I've got to get my boyfriend something fancy. Let's go to the homeware store.
How
But
old
do you-
has meant to be though? Because if Holly's 20, I think he comes across about 35. I think.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ben.
Which makes it worse. Like adds to the list of what are you doing, you loser?
Yeah, we don't seem to have an age. I'm really hoping when the sister comes that she'll be straight on the, Bea said it before, that she'll be straight on the I'm controlling you, you're a mess. And maybe she'll mention like, you know, you're 37. Get your life in order. And, you know, that'd be good. And then we can all be like, look. Oh. I wasn't a big fan of Haz, and I'm struggling with my Mackenzie feelings with this situation because I love her so much. But I just feel so bad for Ho-Ho. Like, it's just so unfair. Like, and even before the drowning, it's just so unfair that she's being treated like she doesn't matter at all.
Yeah. I was creeped out in yesterday's episode. Oh, sorry. God, what today? Yeah, the Boxing Day episode. Where she's like on the Kennedy's couch and she literally looks 12 and he's there in his 35-year-old self. Like there's something that felt really creepy.
Yeah, and when she's frowning and looking sad, and he's just like, okay, off you go, let's have a break. It looked a bit like he's called someone in for lunchtime detention. All right, go and try and do your homework during recess and we'll talk about it later.
Come and sit on my knee.
But then when Carl comes in and gives this I'm very disappointed in you, Mackenzie face, I was like, oh, Christ. I mean, A, piss off, but B, also, like, shit the bed. Like, I'd be devastated if Dr. Carl gave me that disappointed face. It's like the worst thing ever. I'd rather be bollocked in the face than you've disappointed me.
Yeah.
That was a justice for Mackenzie there. Like, Ho-Ho fell in, and sure, it was a bit callous to go and walk off, but, like, who'd have thought she was going to get strangled by the first case of, like, getting snagged by a Christmas tree in a pool?
Look, not to race too far ahead into the future episodes, / the ones I haven't watched. Also, just pointing out, Tom says, doesn't think Haz looks that old, just very hairy. Yeah, body hair will add 10 years to a lad.
How old do I look then?
But also this brings us back to the fact that Krista was left for dead in a swimming pool. Is everyone forgotten in the stream?
Yeah.
I had forgotten that entirely.
Was she? When?
Krista, the sister.
When Mel thought she killed her.
Oh,
head
of
went in-
course. Yeah.
A swimming pool or a spa, a body
There
of
was
water.
blood.
Yeah, there was
But
blood, but she wasn't dead.
Remember Tash nearly drowned in Toadie's pool?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go.
And there's been a
Sharon
few.
did as well when she had her eating disorder and she passed out in the pool when she was raking the leaves out. I don't know why I'm like doing a little dance.
Hang
She
on,
was
so
raking
what
the
pool was
leaves out
that?
of the pool.
Back in the day, was that Toadie's? Well, the old House of Trowel pool or Madge's pool?
Yeah, it was Toadie's because she was living with Hillary at the time.
Hillary, yeah.
And I missed who you said. Which character was it?
Sharon.
Oh,
Sharon
the Sharon that we just
Mel's friend.
saw recently. Oh.
The
And Tom
flaky
said
one.
Lolly, but I don't know if she went into the pool.
Nicola thought one of Susan's kids got swept down the river.
Oh, Zeke.
Oh,
I'll give someone a pass for a river. That's there's a lot more involved. But if you're standing there and you can see the pool, you don't get away with much. You can't get away with much.
no, and of course, ham roast.
Oh, just
Fantastic.
I don't know if that's where he died or where he ended up.
I don't remember.
We just need the Brendan's pool to claim a life, and then we'll have hit every body of water in Ramsay Street.
And okay, so this back to the Krista mystery. I was just looking through a few posts I made before the reveal of the Krista mystery, and that our theories were all just so outlandish of what was going to happen in flashback week, and was it? Did anyone sort of think it was going to go somewhere when flashback week started unfolding, and we found out that Reese, Misha Barton's sister, was at the center of this accidental killing / still alive / half the cast went on the run. Thoughts?
I thought Eden like featured way too much in flashback week for a guy that we really haven't seen since.
Yeah, he was criminally underused, but there's hints that he might come back. Okay, but he, I like Vea. I was waiting for the jaw-dropping twist, like you mentioned, like a face-off reveal that Therese is actually Mel or something. That's jaw-dropping. But what happened was kind of like, oh, okay, and it just didn't kind of sit very well with the characters like Mel and David and Aaron just happily disappearing for a year, knowing that a dead body's been hidden somewhere. It just didn't kind of sit right.
I've still got questions about David and Aaron's stuff. Like, did they put it in storage because they rented a fully furnished bed and breakfast? They went to it and came back from it in like a day. I don't know. We just took my 3-year-old, to the country for Christmas weekend, and we had the car packed to the rafters. Everyone had overnight bags, then Christmas bags, then toys, then scooters and bikes. They can't move one preschooler in a day.
No, that's hideous. Like I'm going away today, and I have like 3 overseas suitcases for like.
Oh Christ, CJ's going on a cruise. We might never see her again.
Oh.
Marlene Pratt's eat your heart out.
CJ's been written off on a cruise forever.
Oh no! Thank goodness we got to do this then. Should we go into some awards?
Yes, except the one more thing I wrote on my little recap list, because we do get, and there's some great drowning chat happening.
There really is. Yeah.
Neighbuzz
Ben's called drowning.
Yeah. The Bishops, Rip, and I don't know who Basil was. Jonathan mentioned Basil died.
A dog.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh God. Thanks.
That was dog.
You couldn't do the doggy paddle, apparently.
No.
Yikes.
And so the well, and I appreciate Nicola mentioning the well, that no one's drowned in the well. And yes, Imogen and CZ did nearly drown, but alas, they were fished out. Now,
I just watched NCZ get murdered in Underbelly season 1. Oh no! Actually, he dies by suicide, but it's kind of different. But yeah, he was really good in that. By the way, check it out.
What do you remember his actor name? Is it Jordan something?
I don't know. He looks like a Jordan, doesn't he? But
this is Andrew Robinson. It's not Andrew Robinson. No, the other one.
No. Daniel Robinson.
Daniel Robinson.
Yeah.
Tim Phillips. That's his name.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds very classy from your accent.
Tim
Phillips.
on TV last night, I watched the very excellent Mr. Dundee for about half an hour, which is not great, but it's a weird fictional movie about Paul Hogan, starring Paul Hogan. Anyway, a couple of the fictional characters in it were played by Mrs. Punt and Nanny Alice. So that was my brief bit of excitement watching that.
Excellent. The other thing I wanted to mention from the Renaissance that we've had is they don't get much airtime because all of the mysteries and flashbacks took front and center. But the Varga Murphy's "Who's Your Daddy" mystery, the whiz bang sperm donor, has gripped us as well, which was a little bit, took a few strange turns, but I think it was a good device in getting us to get the lay of the land of those characters.
Yeah, it's just evaporated too.
No, it'll be back, mate. It'll be back.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the
She doesn't
sperm
evaporate on
evaporated.
Ramsay Street.
But it's great how they've just all like, they were, for me, have been one of the highlights of the return. Like they've just slotted in nicely. They're totally, winning the audience over. I think the Varga Murphys. Yeah, thumbs up from me.
Yeah, and Jonathan points out they've forgotten the dodgy builders after Cara. They did get arrested, I think, those dodgy builders.
The lint balls?
Yeah.
Oh.
There was a throwaway line after they sent the fake anthrax.
I'm still of the belief that everybody screwed this up and it was actually Andrew Robinson, not Andrew Rodwell, who is his dad. So that'll come out eventually, that he's another one of Paul's grandsons.
And then we could get back Tash and Andrew, because Tash has got this bonus stepchild of a teen boy. Tom reminds us the missing pages of that diary. And also we had a shout out from Irish Raw, who enjoyed the NeighBens video of getting lost in the bush.
Thank you.
Which reminds me, NeighBens, you guys have had Ben B has had a little a brush with stardom, in that you met bloody Lynn and Cheryl.
Oh my God, I still can't cope. It was life-affirming highlight, because not only that, I mean, Kate, you're a fellow Prisoner fan, so you would have been like in your element with me, having those two plus Chrissy Latham and Paddy, someone or that. So it was just an iconic lineup. But yeah, Janet, Andrew Arthur, and Caroline Gilmer, Cheryl, and Linny were just so amazing. And Janet told this hilarious story about her and Jackie Woodburn, who straight after they just got out of drama school, they were doing like the audition rounds, and Janet was saying, you get to tick a load of like things of like what you can do to try and get a job. So like I can I can speak Irish, I can speak in an American accent, and she was going down ticking one or two things, and she said Jackie, like greedy mare, was just like tick 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 tick. And Janet had said to her, "Oh, you can't do that." And Jackie had gone, chucked up her. And I was like, awesome. Just the thought of like a little 20-year-old Jackie and, Susan and Lynn just sitting there ticking away like, oh, amazing. But they were all lovely. They were so nice. And
Janet looked like she gave you a really lovely cuddle, Ben, as well. She looks like a good cuddler.
Oh, she is. And Caroline was as well. They were just, it was just like one of those moments where you think, God, I'm having a cut to a Lynn Scully here.
I hope you passed on your condolences about Joe as well.
Well, I don't think Jan Andrew Arthur wants to hear about old Shane Connor.
Did you? Was this then a few days later that she was curled up on the couch with Holly Valance watching Neighbuzz in the mansion?
Yeah.
In the Candy Mansion?
I like to think that she sat there talking about us, saying, "Oh, I met one of the NeighBens," and they're just having a yarn about us over a glass of bolly.
Well, the thing about if you get invited over by Holly, because the mansion, like you would, there's certain things you would put up with to get invited there. Like when she starts just talking about Trump, right? You would just fade over and be like, "Whatever, I'm in a mansion.
Yeah,
I'm having the best time." So she would have had to divert conversation. She'd be like, "I met Spicy Ben."
I reckon looking at Holly's couch, I was like, oh, that's a classic case of money can't buy taste.
Yes.
It was horrendous.
I reckon it'd be like if Flick herself became loaded.
Yeah.
It'd just be whatever tacky, or not tacky because I don't know whatever, over the top, I think.
Or maybe that's just the granny flat where they've shoved Lynn for the night. You're not allowed in the main house, love. Come on, Mama.
Let's get a photo, Holly. All right, we'll just go out the back and do it in the other one. So, okay, we're going to do some awards. On our, I think that's everything that's happened apart from poor old Erinsborough High at the peril of being shut down.
Irene.
The young people for old people's home, like reboot on Neighbuzz.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm more interested in that situation than I am about, oh, will it shut down? Oh, will there be a retirement home? At least this is something different if it goes ahead. So I'm going to start off with an award I'm going to award the I Wanted to Hate You, But You Won Me Over award. And feel free to join in the chat if you want to add contenders in that category or come up with your own award. But so the I Wanted to Hate You, But You Won Me Over is little JJ, John Jacob Jingleheimer. I didn't need JJ in my life. This little blonde vanilla milkshake boy with, I've got two lesbian mums and I don't know who my dad is. But then he was like so caring and won over by the Sarge, and he just wanted a male role model to look up to, and he just, wanted his mums to be happy, and also he likes our posts on Instagram, so that went far in my eyes. So yeah,
a young person liking your content.
Yeah, it's still relevant. JJ thinks I'm relevant. Any other? Feel free to. You can either add to that, or the chat can add to that category, or you can save yourself for your own category. That's fine.
I would say, if I could nominate them as a threesome, the Rodwells, because I liked the Rodwells, but I was shocked that they were going to come back. So I was fully expecting to be really disappointed in them, taking up a whole house and kind of limiting story options for that household. But they have just been an absolute revelation, and Wendy Rodwell's just excelled as a character, and I reckon will go down as one of the most iconic Neighbuzz characters in its history.
Do you think she's going to go back to her busybody roots? Because she's mellowed out a little bit lately. Do you think she's realised, I can't gossip about my neighbours if I want to hang out with them at barbecues?
I hope so. She's such a great busybody. She's got to pop up in more homes, taking out their rubbish and listing around corners and stuff. She works best as that sort of character for me.
I love that she hid that they'd found the watch. And she's just like, oh, well, I'm just going to let sleeping dogs lie on that one.
Yeah, they're back to Werribee. They don't need to know this.
No.
My only worry with the Rodwells is that there's only three of them, and I always think families of three never last long in everything. You know what I mean?
Well, Wendy's still young. There's still there could still be some eggs out there working for.
Yeah, Izzy can go steal some from Erinsborough Hospital for her.
I agree. I agree with Ben. The Rodwells, mainly Wendy. I think when Neighbuzz was ending, I kind of was really confused on why there was new characters, because I just wanted old characters to be in my screen. I wanted Carl and Susan to just be bickering for 22 minutes a day, and and so I was confused, and I think I kind of took it out on them by not loving them, and now that I can relax into them, I love them.
And also, so Jonathan mentions that house is big for just three people, so you don't have to have another kid, but you can have other boarders you can take a leaf from the Kennedy book and you can have lodges till the cows come home. Or
Also,
as
hang on, the Sarge is hot too. We can't go past that.
enough people, like I had so many people point out that the Sarge was hot that I was like, hello, yeah, let me take a look at you, Sarge. It's good that you're hanging around. Fifi mentions Wendy can get banged up by a whiz-bang sperm donor and then the slate would be even.
And then it would be revealed it was actually his frozen sperm.
Yeah.
It had survived all those years in the freezer.
And
Good swimmers.
And another contender for this category from See What's On. Oh, you've hooked me in with your channel name. Krista, based upon Reese, is in Wanted to Hate You, but she's been a massive improvement, which is, I guess, once they announced the actor as a main character, you sort of had to open your eyes a bit and go, oh, okay, what have you got to show us then? Love. So is anyone else?
Nicolette as well. Nicolette as well. Who's like, for someone who is just, she's replacing a really iconic character, and yet she's just, waltzed in and won us over straight away.
Would someone else like to do an award category?
Well, mine's the reverse, so we can go to that, which is I used to love you, but now you're in the bin.
And
who is it, CJ?
Okay. Maybe in the bin is strong, but Toby, I don't 100%. Know.
Yeah.
He's in the recycling.
Well, I was going to say the organics waste.
Yeah. Like we could maybe get him back, but like he's just everything he does at the moment. I question.
Yeah.
He's been in my bin for years.
Elaborate, please, Ben. What in what sense?
Well, I just still can't forgive him for the way he has behaved constantly towards Mel from the very start, when he sex shamed her, judged her, hid her from Carl and Susan when they first started dating, was all just made her feel like an absolute worthless piece of shit all the time, when actually she's the one that's giving him a bit of a glow up. Bloody hell. So yeah, he can stay in the bin for all I care.
And as Tom mentioned, what happened to the nursery? He let that go under. Yep, and Sarah agrees. Used to love Toady, now he's the worst. So feel free to add to that category. Who would like to nominate theirs next?
I think Mackenzie's on the precipice of being in the bin. She carries on treating Holly like she isn't, and acting like she's the victim in this scenario, then in the bin as well.
Although, how many years do you get? I reckon you get some widower years where you can just do whatever the fuck you want.
I reckon Mackenzie's got main character syndrome, that she doesn't, and Holly's just clearly not important or human in any way.
Well, it's like when Krista was in the hospital bed and Mackenzie went in and went, do you know what? Eden stole my purse. So, I can relate.
You think Krista would have just been like, who are you? Security? Just piss off.
Or just, can I please get the, I'll have a coffee with my lunch, and could I get the dessert,
the jelly
in the fridge for me?
Yeah, I'll have the jelly.
Thanks.
That is hilarious.
And does anyone have an award?
One.
Oh, okay. This is a new award or adding to the previous category?
Adding to the previous, and feel very strongly on this one. Old Judgy McKnacker, David.
Yes.
CJ, we're going to need a skip.
The bin.
We need a skip.
Get straight down.
Hard waste.
Mate, the tip, get in there. He is an absolute shovel of shite. Sorry.
Misery guts.
You should have put this episode, because it's not spoiler because it's unboxing, but when he's as a sober companion, firstly, he does his yoga. Oh my God. I don't think he's done any yoga training. None. It's whatever. I've got a mat.
Can you say that on the podcast as well, CJ? Because I've got a story about someone who probably shouldn't have taught us yoga. Just remember that when we record the pod.
Okay.
I wish they'd shown David McMona, as Jonathan says. I wish they'd shown him really loving bed and breakfast life, just really in his element, going, oh, I love making changing the sheets for my customers, my guests here in the fresh air. He just wasn't even happy there.
He was angry. He had a lot of washing to do.
He has no kind of accountability for his own actions. It's all just Paul's fault. And it's like, mate, you're an adult. Just get over it.
Mm-hmm. And now he's going to take it out on the zoo and not go there.
Melbourne Zoo needs our funding for wildlife conservation.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Paul's paid for the tickets already. He doesn't need his face scaring the giraffes off, does he?
No.
Also, I love how they were all, we'll say this on the pod as well, but they were all acting like a zoo membership was this amazing idea. Like every family with a preschooler in Melbourne has a zoo membership. It's like,
getting the first one as a gift is great though.
Okay, yes. It is a good idea.
Yeah. Vera and I have purchased one for Kate once.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I shouldn't shit can my own.
You get 4 zoos with the pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlimited
Werribee
visits.
being one of them. You could,
oh yeah.
You know,
Next
go to
the
Werribee Mansion. Yeah, and then drive off a cliff.
So yeah, who would like to present their award?
So I've got an award, which is the I still need to know how the Shag That Happened award, because for me, I still have questions, so many questions, but the biggest question is that how the hell did Toadie manage to woo Therese into the boudoir? I'm sorry, but that lowly little runaround with old high class, she's a sophisticate from the Barossa. How has he managed to get old Triple X managed to get with her?
Kate will point out Sarage's history there.
She used to date Gazcan. So, honestly, he's probably, 10 times better than him. But still, she is attracted to a loser, isn't she?
That's true. But I want another flashback week that shows, how the hell they got together. Like, did they get locked up in the cellar somewhere? Did he pay her? What's he done?
Did they find an old crate of Full Salute?
That's the only thing.
That's been fermenting for years.
If only Puffy had stuck with it, it could have really taken off.
I think she must have had fallen off the wagon and been drinking a bit. The other thing is somehow he's wooed her and she's not have been inebriated in any of those situations, which it seems like that it must have been the case. But if she'd had a fallen off the wagon, she would have been down at Sonia's charity going to Everything's Anonymous and maybe just leaned into who was there.
I think Georgie says Toadie's not that
that's
bad.
The twist, that she's still pissed now. We'll find out she's been drunk for the past 3 years.
She's done it so long it's under the surface, just concealed. But in Toadie's defense, well, not in Toadie's defense, I think that it's a long bow for him to draw because he was meant to be Gazcan's best buddy and now he's in the sack with Gazcan's ex. And the fact that he's Paul's ex, and why would you want to get involved in something that Paul's going to have his mitts all over forever?
Yeah.
Melanie had been with Paul years ago, so, it's not like he hasn't been with any of Paul's other...
It is pretty difficult to find somebody that Paul hasn't married or something.
So that was the Shag. What was say me the name of your category again?
I still need to know how the Shag That Happened award.
You could throw in how did Sadie become Leo's nanny, and is Sadie Leo's nanny? Like what? It's never really been explained. That moment. Let's have a flashback week dedicated to that.
A flashback week to everyone's jobs, everyone's day jobs. Mackenzie at the council and Rebecca Law. How's she juggling both? Sadie doing the nannying. Who else?
I might be in a coma that week.
Sadie should be studying feminism at uni, like Olympia Valance did. Remember that?
2 weeks.
Yeah, that would be good. Also, I'd like to go down the journey of more of the Airbnb or whatever, David, what they were running. What was the logistics on that?
And the drinks van.
Oh, the drinks van.
Did they sell the van?
We didn't get that.
Is the van parked somewhere with all their belongings in it that they didn't move?
Yeah. Melanie could have been living in that. That could have been her her housing solution.
Yeah.
I would just that. I'd love that. I'd love that if she now turned that into like a mobile home cum cocktail bar where she just tootled around and rocked up everywhere.
And she could have a lesson with Piper, and then she could become a van life YouTuber, van lifer, and just vlogs her little exploits around the countryside.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if Aaron and David had a B&B, they could have put her up in it, couldn't they?
Yeah. Well, someone had to live
in some crack den.
I reckon no one would stay with David more than one night. They'd be like, "Oh, you absolute misery! I'm here to relax, and you're just here to judge me for, not putting the cushion back on the couch or something like that."
Do you think he's whinging at his patrons as well?
100%. He's a misery guts.
Don't you have a job to go back to?
Leave little accident things out there so people could fall over and have minor accidents, so he could administer first aid and be like, I can put a bandage on.
I love it. That's actually what I've loved about Dr. Ma, that she's like, no, man, you're clearly incompetent and a scammer. Step away from the pulse.
Step away from the medical life. Oh, yeah, Tim wants to know, what will Byron's job be now? Well, I think we're all pretty happy with the return of Harvey J.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's so much storyline vehicle. I can't, I'm really looking forward to it.
Even if he just runs his own agency, starts up a website. His own Ashley Madison.
He's got a pipeline. You want him to have a pipeline?
Yeah. Pipeline for his pipeline. Okay. We've got Ben F and Kate to do their awards. Who wants to go?
I was trying to think of an award to give Reese, because I think she deserves an honourable mention for the return.
Category like Shirley Temple.
It's like the character that gave everything but nothing all at the same time goes to Reese and Claire.
Yeah, I wouldn't go back. I don't think I would go back and have. I don't think I would go back and have anything changed about Reese. Just everything as is.
That iconic trip to the beach.
Isn't that what you guys do every day in Australia? That was,
Yeah.
Representation.
Eat pies at the beach.
Actually, Kate's at the beach and it was thunderstorming yesterday.
I'm about to go to the beach in an hour, and it's currently drizzling, and pray for me, really. But I'm not going to bring my corked hat this time. So
Well, you said cork tat, as in you've got a tattoo of a cork.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'll see one there. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of the beach as well, can we just nod to the fact that only 3 weeks ago, Nellie Fish was at campus saying how terrified she was of the beach because her mum died there. Yeah. And then 2 weeks later on her birthday, they're like, oh, we're going to the beach. She's like, I love the beach. It's like, yeah, great. That's a bit of a U-turn, isn't it? Your mum died there and now you're like, woohoo! Let's play cricket on the beach.
I wish she used it as a "you're not my real mum" shit crack to rage. God, and you've dragged me to the beach where I watched my mum die. Thanks for nothing, step monster.
Yeah, she's becoming a bit demonic with how much she's like enjoying her new family now. Like it's got to turn at some point, doesn't it?
Okay.
Hang on. This is leading into my category, which is the baddest bitch in Erinsborough, who is the new Nelly.
Oh. Applause.
She's been an absolute highlight for me. I love what a schemer she is. I need more schemes, please, Nell.
And schemes that are rooted in kindness. She's like, I just want to show compassion to my previous family member who's an older lady who doesn't have support. Beautiful motivation.
I don't believe for a moment that she actually likes to rage. I think she's still playing the long con with her.
Thanks. I love this T-shirt.
I kind of want her and Holly to team up as like, you know, with all their issues of mothers. I think those two would make a good like scheming sister double act going on.
They used to have the Dead Mums Club. They could have the just mummy issues club, full stop.
Yeah,
as What's On reminded us, she was raised by Nanny Alice for a while. But that actually...
have you tried my biscuits?
This reminds me when Ben brought up Reese, that we said on the pod I would tell this story in how I nearly blew tens of Patreon funds, look, hundreds of dollars in Patreon funds I was about to blow on Misha Barton because Kate, was I down with COVID at this point and I was a bit delusional, but Kate sent me a link to, Kate had just watched the Dear John letter that Reese had sent to Byron, and then she sent me a link to Misha Barton's cameo and then walked away, and then my little brain cogs started turning. I was like, we've got to get Misha to record the letter on Cameo. And I jumped on the link, Misha, by the way, it's pronounced Misha. And I clicked a few links, and then I worked out, Kate transcribed the letter for me, and then I pasted it in, and it was 800 words too long to be put into a Cameo submission. Cameo, of course, people don't know. It's where you get celebrities to record little greetings for you, little messages. And it was going to set me back. I think by the time you converted it to Australian dollars and added their service fee, how dare you, it was like $230 that it was going to cost. So I plugged it all in. Then we truncated the letter to the stupid version that I read it out on the pod, the little version. I put that through with a little sentence saying, feel free to ad-lib. It's just for our comedy podcast. But I don't think she's ever ad-libbed, so that was a bit ambitious. But I wanted to give her some empowerment. And I sent that off, and then I waited 24 hours, and then I got an email saying Misha Barton would love to do your project, however, has had to decline as it contains business content. And so therefore this would need to go through the business channel. And there is a Patreon Cameo business category, but I investigated that at first because I was like, oh, maybe we could pay for a little sponsored announcement. $4,000 for a business partnership deal.
Ooh.
And I was like, you not get AI to do it?
Oh my God.
And then just her face doesn't move much anyway, so you could just put a still of her face with it on in the background. No one would know.
Do you think she's litigious? Because if I can't pay for the business fee, I can't pay for the legal fees either.
I'm convinced that that's actually how they got her on Neighbuzz. It was just like 15 of those $4,000. They just kept signing up, and then they had her on Zoom, and that's why all those scenes were a bit funny because she was just saying, you know, a collection of lines to a little webcam.
Like to cut around her, put a little bucket hat on her.
Yeah, like her cat in the background.
Yeah, Georgie's calling it a scam. Paul's saying Dr. Carl would have done it for $10.
He would have. He totally would have, and he would have put his heart and soul into it for $10.
I'm going to try and get Rachel Bilson to do it and see how far I get.
How much would they have had to have paid her to put the meat pie near her mouth? Like, do you think she like literally off camera just like?
Or
do you think she just spat it out straight away? Do you think that she would gargled and just
Has a
whipped it
name.
onto the sand?
They probably had to get a vegan one, some Hollywood
True.
version of a meat pie. No 4 and
Yeah,
20.
for Wonder Pies. Yeah.
Well, that's me. And now, so should we close it out with a few little 2024 wish list items? Mine is very straightforward in that I want, what I said earlier. I want Harold to come back and say, "Up a day, forgot to take your marriage license to the courthouse. Soz, undo," and there we are.
I want Toadie to end up lonely and single. Therese dumps him. Mel rejects him. He's just on his own, homeless.
And
In the
also,
van.
people stop looking after his children, and he has to do that.
I want his kids to leave him as well.
Emancipation.
Yeah, for Paul to adopt them.
Yeah.
Imagine so if Therese gets back with Paul and they're back in the penthouse, and then Nellie and Hugo just go we want to come live with you.
I want to hear more reviews from Harvey J's clients, because that had me enthralled last week.
I could go on his website that he's building. Anyone else? Tom wants Jessie Spencer back for the Kennedy 30th anniversary. I mean, don't we all, except for Kate, who revealed this week during our Facebook polls that she prefers Stoney. But anyway.
Excuse me, it was because I knew at the time that his parents were horrifically racist. I think that's what put him off.
Stoney's parents? Oh,
no, just Jessie Spencer's parents.
His real life parents?
Yeah, read the link, man. Look them up. They're they started off in a party that was worse than One Nation and then joined One Nation. So.
No.
Yes, this was in the 90s when he was becoming a star.
It's okay. Well, maybe the
No
apple
good, is
fall
it?
really far from those trees.
Yeah, hopefully it did. Yeah, we all want Jessie Spencer back. I would like Paul and Therese to get back together, which is that's very basic of me, but yeah, I want that to happen.
And you're wasting your wish, because I think that's where we're headed.
Yeah, that's true. But also, I would like, I definitely want Paul to adopt Nell now, and her to just go full evil, eyebrows. I can't move mine anymore. But
I would love Nellie and Paul teaming up would be diabolical, and I love it.
Yeah, I would like. I want Angie back. Just even if she could go around and tell everyone to sort their dresses out,
their boots,
yeah. On the wedding, do you remember the wedding day when Angie was when Angie said to Therese, "Hoik you."
Yeah, that is exactly what somebody like Angie would do. She'd be like, "Come on, pull him from the side."
Yeah. Yeah. I think that could be the thing that could drive Therese back to Paul if Angie just moved in. I've had her around with Big Kev. I'm coming to stay, and she moves into Therese's. Therese did not sign up for that when she married Toadie.
There is a big void left by Mrs. Punt's absence too.
Yes, she's meant to be gallivanting around Europe with Curtis. I want to see that.
Yes.
Yeah, and also Tim Collins and a couple of those other, peripheral characters. I'd like to see them back.
And I want to know what's happened to Shazza as well, because the last time we saw her, she was with Eden, and I'm convinced he's bumped her off.
Oh.
Ben, did you say yours? Did you have a wish?
Yes, Toadie, single and hot.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, I was listening, I promise. I was just sidetracked by the chat, who, yes, I would like all the jaw-dropping plots that Fletch promised on the run-up to the reboot. And more of Drunk Jane, which reminds me that my other wish is that I guess Guy Pearce just gives up movies for soap and comes back to the street full time, because I don't know how they're going to write their way out of this corner that they've painted themselves into.
I don't know. They're gonna. I'm worried. I think some people are worried that Jane will leave the show eventually and retire. The character at least. And yeah, but that is quite a worry because you can't just have a love letter relationship on Neighbours. You have to die or do something awful. And I don't want either of those things to happen to Guy Pearce.
And I don't want him to be the bad guy. I kind of feel like Jane needs to be the one to end it because she wants it to be, put everything into her career or whatever it is. I don't want him to be the bad guy and be the one that like bins her off or dies.
Like Clive, who had to be written out and just met someone else.
I know. Yes, Tom has just mentioned 2024, Paul Robinson in a coffin.
Maybe just as a bit of a practical joke.
I want Hendrix back too. Joy Young said, I want Hendrix back. 100%. Could we please have Hendrix back?
Yes.
Oh, no, what we definitely need is for it to turn out to be Krista being the sister of Finn Kelly as well.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes. And
Mac and Richie as well. Mac and Richie.
Yeah. McRitchie. And let's bring it back to drowning. Sarah says, honestly thought Mike was going to drown in Loch Ness. And one of those eternal mysteries. Oh, maybe we'll go down to Loch Ness and see if we can see Mike Young.
I mean, I don't know what he's using to travel around, and if it's like a push bike with a punctured wheel, but it doesn't take that long to tour the whole of England,
It's not that big.
I don't know. I've got a few mates that went backpacking and just never came back, really. They live there now.
I'm envisaging him remember that cooking show from, was it the late 90s, early 2000s? The two older women chefs? And they were getting around on a motorbike with a sidecar with like the old-fashioned leather helmets on.
Did they call themselves the Two Fat Ladies?
Yeah.
Clarissa Dixon, right?
But that's Sam sitting beside him right now, and he's just pootering away, and
I do want more Sam, by the way. They gave her a job and then just never let her do it. Justice. There we go. Two Fat Ladies. Oops. There we go. Oh, okay. Yes. And See What's On reminds us of the Earthquake Prison Break storyline that was proposed before the Axe. I don't think I read a lot of that. There were some, I think a few articles came out of all the stuff we wanted to do. And I guess Earthquake and Prison Break are two disasters we haven't had. So.
Oh my God.
Well,
Andrea.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
Darcy.
What were you going to say, Ben?
Oh, I was going to say, just a sidestep from one of the things that was kind of reported was they talked a lot about Mackenzie getting that kind of like happy ending soap moment. So so we're all coming back kind of knowing where Mackenzie's going to be, that she's going to get this romance and happy ending. But because we know they're trying to team her up with Haz, that's the thing that's making me not like Haz as much, because I'm like, he's horrible. And we know that's the direction it's going. It's like, I want a nice boy for Mackenzie, not nasty Haz.
It's not too late for them to turn it around.
How about Haz with the, by the way, Holly and mine's break is over. And you're like, mate, no one gives a shit, okay?
Oh, Tom, this could be the source. This could break the internet like Chelly. A Curtis and Andrew Rodwell love affair.
Oh.
Love it.
I mean, yeah.
Lots more hot cop.
Yeah.
He is hot cop. Yeah.
Yes.
He's also, competency is hot too, aside from general attractiveness. He's the best cop that Erinsborough has ever seen.
Yeah,
It's not hard, to be fair.
Same with Dr. Ma. Just the other week when I gave her Citizen of the Week, when she just turned up and did her job, was wow, says a lot for that hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think, should we say bye?
We should.
Only because I'm starting to hear baby Dr. Carl upstairs probably wearing down the patience of my partner, and I should go up and get involved there.
I'm going to fly to Sydney.
Yeah.
I'm about to wrestle some kids into wetsuits, so that's
with their consent.
Harder than you think. Yeah.
Yeah, with their consent. And it's night for the Bens, so they need to.
Yeah, true.
Well, night for me.
It's lunchtime for me, so I need to get my
eat it.
Boxing Day lunch going.
NeighBens,
Holly Boxing Day.
what a treat. We've been meaning to catch up since you took CJ for a night on the town in London and then sent her back to us to go to Everything's Anonymous.
What happens in London stays in London.
Oh my God. Best time in London at the tour and in general. Yes, I like FaceTimed these girls on the way home in the taxi.
We apologise now for losing her astray.
No, it's our pleasure. And NeighBens, what's your primary platform? You got YouTube, Instagram, but you also dominate Twitter, which I still call Twitter, and Facebook. But do you want to funnel anyone to one particular channel, or just to hit you on all of them?
Subscribe to us on YouTube, and then whichever. Yeah, we just gob off on all platforms.
We're not sure ourselves. Yeah.
I mean, really,
Not very.
we should have people. We should have people. You send people to us, really. To be fair.
Always. Thank you so much for having us. Honestly, it's been such a treat.
It's been lovely to see you, and have a good New Year. Happy New Year. And looking forward to your next batch of content. And CJ and Kate, CJ, good luck on the cruise. Please return. And Kate, also, at the beach, return from the beach, please, as well. That would be great. But Kate and I are going to join in for a recap of these Christmas episodes of Neighbours coming up at some point next week.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thanks to the chat.
Merry Christmas.
Love your work, chat. Really appreciated you. And I didn't think of a way to finish, so just let's everybody.
Oh, Tom says, happy 4-year anniversary of COVID.
Oh no, Tom. No, Tom. I'm gonna thank Barbara from Michigan.
Oh, Barbara from Michigan.
Yeah. No, appreciate you all. Love you guts. And let's pose for a screenshot. CJ, take a screenshot while I end the stream.
I don't know how to do it on this
someone.
Oh my God.
I'll take it later.
I'm doing it now.
This will stay on YouTube.